So who else is addicted to their phone? Is it just the staff or us too? Maybe in another episode we talk about our addictions to cell phone. And today I get to answer a question talking about our staff and the cell phone policy in our restaurants. And is it wise for a manager? Is it a place for a manager or a restaurant owner to confiscate and to take away the phone from staff as a way of reducing the phone usage in the restaurant? This is an ongoing thing, of course, the problem with the cell phone, let's be real. But I'm going to talk about principle wise. If you and I, as managers, find ourselves telling our people, don't do this, do this, don't do this, don't do this, which is a little bit, sometimes with our children, we're like that. Don't do this, don't touch that. No, 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 is because we did not have a proactive approach to the manner in which we manage. We have a reactive approach and not a proactive approach. Now, granted, with children, it's really different because a child may not be able to understand when we explain things, to give them a perspective depending on their age. But our staff, we need to always have a proactive approach. If you are always reacting, telling people, don't do this, don't do that, that's wrong, this is whatever, it's going to be very exhausting and draining to be a manager. And I'd rather be more like 60-70% proactive and 30% reactive to the problems. That is my intention and desire. That doesn't mean it's always happening that way. So when it comes to the phone proactive approach, number one, it needs to be in your employee handbook. Do you have a cell phone policy in your employee handbook? And is it clear? Is it black and white, very clear, or are you just kind of a fuzzy, cloudy zone that people can interpret as they wish? So that's number one. Second, do you communicate that policy when somebody gets hired? Do you communicate that as our policy? Now, you may have already a restaurant operation and the culture is that you want to shift that culture. So if you want to do that, first off, I would recommend you come up with a policy and you create a team memo. And that's going to be a sheet of paper where you explain this new policy. In this particular case, is a cell phone, but it's the same method. We do team memos all the time. And you have the policy bullet points, what this entails. And then you're going to have the name of every single team member in a section for them to sign. This also leads me to this other approach. Everything is science and art, which is sometimes what I say. Science is the employee handbook, things need to be written, whatever. The art is that you need to sell it. You need to sell to your staff why we do what we do. I know it's hard. I know you want to be on your cell phone. I know sometimes we're slow and there seems to be not much going on in a restaurant and you want to be on your cell phone. I get that. I'm asking you to do something that is going to be good for you, building your character and not be dependent on your phone every minute. Be a good team player. So we need to instill these characteristics in them. And it's not about the cell phone, but rather what the cell phone represents, self-control. And that they can do it. It seems to be this hard thing to be away from our phone for 2 hours or 5 hours, whatever the duration of the shift is, but they can do it, that you believe in them, that they can do it and make it fun. I also ask them questions and say, hey, do you work hard for every dollar you make? Yes or no? They're obviously going to say yes. I said, how would you feel if you work so hard for your money and you go to this restaurant and $10 for a meal or 15, whatever, you paid your hard-earned dollars and the server is over there on the phone or the cook is over there on the phone, not, making your food fast for you, that you are paying them hard-earned dollars. How would that make you feel? So giving your staff perspective, how would the customer feel about this? The other one is, hey, imagine you own a restaurant one day, you own your own business and you have 10 people working for you and you're working very hard to get customers, you try and take care of this, blah, 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 whatever thing it is, and you're paying people hourly this much. How would you feel if staff is on their cell phone? Imagine you come in and you have 5 staff members. One is over there on their cell phone. This is chatting, whatever. How would you react to that? How would you handle it? How would you feel funding people being on TikTok? How would you react to that? Again, allowing your staff to gain perspective. I think so much of life is that. And what we lack is just single note perspective. If they put themselves in the shoes of a customer, if they put their shoes in the shoes of the owner of the business, and they put their shoes in the shoes of their team members. Hey, for example, I told, Susan is over there maybe cleaning the bathrooms because that is her closing task, or sweeping, and you're over there on the cell phone. Imagine you're the one who is sweeping or working hard and you have great work ethic, and every time you look over there, is so-and-so team member, whatever, John is on his phone all the time. What would you think about John? Would you say that he's a good worker? Would you say he has great work ethic? Do you think he's escaping from work? Would you feel that he's lazy? Would you feel that, blah, blah, blah? How would you feel about them? Get your team to have that perspective. Bottom line, allow your team to explore and feel how it feels to be seeing them from another perspective and another person. And I feel that's going to allow them, yes, it's going to be hard, but nobody wants to be a bad team player. Nobody wants, to be in that position. So they would themselves put the phone away, even when you're not there, because now they're just trying to just follow company policy. The case about a cat and the mice, when the cat is away, the mice play, is because we didn't shift their identity and belief as to who they want to be as an employee, as a worker. Are they honorable? Do they have integrity? Do they say what they do? And that is one of our main jobs here, I would say, as business owners, to instill those character traits into our team, so they go on and be successful, and maybe one day own their own business. Other scientific approaches to this is within your policy, you need to have, I'm going to give you a verbal warning, then I'm going to give you a coaching slip, which is in a written format, and then you're going to get a write-up, and that could lead to termination. So you may very well have those policies in place, but you need to make sure you enforce them, because then you're telling people that you don't do what you say you'll do. And that is a bad reputation for a restaurant owner. So if you are going to make that, what you can do as well is start from a top down. Enforce a policy for managers, enforce a policy for leaders, and then, for new hires. So that way you can control a smaller group of people. So for instance, when we were enforcing uniforms, for a while, people would just wear whatever. We're like, okay, all managers need to be, then all leads need to be wearing uniform. And then we enforce all that. So if you have a top-down approach, it's going to be a little bit easier maybe to control as well every time you have a new policy, such as the cell phone policy. And if the employee is not a good fit and they cannot handle the stress of being away from their phone, maybe this is not a good fit, and be generous and let them go. If you need them, while you need them, pay them, work them. The mediocre level of work that you're getting from them, hire someone else, train them up to do better, and let the other person go and move forward. We need to be objective and move the mission forward. We got customers to serve. We got this business to make a success. And if you are going to be stressed about the little things like the cell phone and whatever, let go of those people and move on. Do you know what I'm saying? Trim and prune the team, because that's how we build a stronger team, and stay objective and get this done. I'm interested and curious to hear what is your restaurant's cell phone policy, and how do you enforce it on a daily basis among your team. We would love to hear it. Be sure to comment below and let us know. And with that, let's get back to work and make some dough. Thank you. Bye-bye.